In this video, we'll talk about how to analyze your competitors and what PPC strategies they are using by studying data provided by Seller Central. Our guest Tariq from M19, which is a PPC automation tool, he will be showing us how to identify the intensity of competitors, what strategies they might be using, and also he will show us how to use brand analytics to target your competitors. M19 is an automation tool for advertising on Amazon, and you can check the link below and also the video below in the description, and at the top you will get a video which is a demo of M19 software. And this video is hosted by Lisette Liz. She works with different Amazon brands. And as always, if you like videos by OrangeClick, click the notification bell after you click the subscribe button, because here we talk with different experts, software providers, and event organizers in Amazon industry.
Hello, Tariq. It's nice to have you here today. Could you first please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in the Amazon space?
Hello. So I'm a co-founder of M19. It's a company doing PPC automation and optimization. So we manage and optimize all Amazon advertising formats, sponsored products, brands, and display with a very simple interface that is hiding all the complexity. And it's like 100% based on machine learning and algorithms.
Okay. And today you will share with us how to understand better the competitors and what they do in the ad space, right?
Yeah, exactly. The topic is how to easily study and target and translate this into a very powerful strategy to address and target your competitors.
Okay, sounds really interesting. So I know you have a presentation for us as well. So let's get right into it.
So let's start very simple. The easiest way to know exactly and feel what the competitors is doing is just using Seller Central or the advertising console to really feel and see how other competitors are doing in every keyword. The basic way of doing it is just adding exact keywords in a campaign. And thanks to Amazon Bids recommendation, you have an idea on how hard the competition is. I took this example on gaming on earbuds. Here are three variations of keywords containing earbuds, and we can see that gaming earbuds had a suggestion between 60 cents and 1.7 cent dollars. Earbuds with microphone noise cancelling has a suggested bids which is higher, and the highest in the examples I have are earbuds with microphone long cord. So the first thing we can see here is directly from Seller Central or the advertising console, we can start having an idea of the competition level. So the three examples, we have one with medium competition level, earbuds with microphone noise cancelling, it's high, and the other one which is more than $4 the click, competition there is very high. So this is the simplest and most accurate way to capture what is the competition on a given keyword. Then, of course, if you want to get more information about who is competing on this keyword, now it gives you an idea how much they are paying. Again, easy thing. You just type the keyword you are interested on Amazon, earbuds with microphone noise cancelling, and you can directly see all the brands that are investing on these keywords. For this one, that was the second one in terms of intensity, we can see the Empow brand that is doing sponsored brand, and Amazon itself and the other brand doing the sponsored products. Of course, there are more advanced way of doing it and more other tools that is allowing it. If you have time and resources, another way of capturing how aggressive is the competition is through looking at the bid. When you put a bid on a keyword on a campaign, you end up paying a CPC, which is based on a second price auction. You pay the price of the second guy just behind you in the advertising auction. And the difference between the two will give you also an idea how the competition is. For example, if you are bidding €1 on earbuds and you end up paying 80 cents, it means that the second guy behind you is bidding 80 cents. It's very different from you are bidding €1 and the second guy behind you is bidding 50 cents. So in this second case, there is a gap of 50 cents, which means that there is way smaller competition. This is more advanced and more complex to put in place, but just keep in mind that you can do it based on bids and the CPC that you end up paying at the end. But the first solution is better because it's simple. Then I want to share also some very uncommon and unknown strategies some competitors are using to advertise. I won't focus in on like very known strategies. These are pretty exotic ones. So it's interesting to see what some people are doing with advertising. In my talk, I will present 3 different ones. Like the first one is focusing mainly on popular keywords. So some guys, they just pick the most powerful keywords. They focus all their advertising on them. Other guys are, instead of doing PPC management and optimization based on choosing the right bid and the right CPC, they do it based on placement adjustment. And I will explain more in details how they do it. And the last strategy is only going after the long tail in terms of keywords and of course product targeting, which leads up to an advertising strategy that is less costly because the long tail costs less than high volume keywords where there is a lot of competition. So let's dig into these strategies. So focusing on popular keywords. It can be done through targeting top 5% keywords in an exact campaign. Pretty easy, manual exact campaign, where you will be using only top 5% keywords. I will show you after an example one way of finding them. Then some guys within this 5% keywords, either they put them in one campaign or different campaigns, they will isolate like the super high keywords, 5 maximum to 10 keywords, and they will isolate them in a dedicated campaign, one keyword campaign. So they do this so as they can be able to adjust bid adjustments for every one of these 5 to 10 top keywords, because the adjustments are only available at campaign level. So if you mix different keywords within an ad group or campaign, you cannot play with the adjustment at keywords level. So this is the basic reason why they take off 5 to 10 top ones and they put every single keyword for a given async on a dedicated campaign. And the last step is putting in place a catch-all automatic campaign with a very low bid. And of course, they will negate all the exact keywords that were put in the manual campaigns before. So as they make sure that when there is a keyword, it goes only to one campaign. And if it's one of the top 5%, it will go through the main manual campaign. And the rest will all be captured in the auto campaign that in fact is just capturing the long tail. One way of doing that is just using the brand analytics report that I recommend any seller that has a registered brand to look at and use, because this is super powerful. It's real data. It's not an estimated data like some tools are given. So it's sure 100%. If we want to select, for example, the top 5%, let's say for the same product that I displayed before for some earbuds, you can just select some seed keywords. We can, for example, use earbuds. Then the sponsored, like the brand analytics report, will give us the list of all the search terms containing the word earbuds. And these search terms will be ranked by search frequency, like SFR. It's a rank based on the popularity in terms of volume of search of every search term. In this example, the result is 1,300 search term. From this list, you need to filter some irrelevant or unrelated search term. For example, here you can find earbuds cases or earbuds toys for kids or whatever. You need to remove all these unrelevant keywords. You end up with a filtered list. And on this list, you will keep only the top 5% in terms of search frequency rank. Yeah, sorry, SFR is search frequency rank. And with this short list of the high volume keywords, you just create a manual campaign as I explained before. This is one way of doing it. Of course, if you are using some other external tool to extract keywords or that are estimated in search volume, you can use that also. The second strategy is steering with placement bid adjustment. So to do that, there is a prerequisite is to be doing only single campaign keywords for the reason I explained before. This is the only way that makes you able to adjust a given keyword for every placement. Then you will need to apply at least 100% adjustment for top of search. It will also apply to product targeting. I will explain it later. Then you need to use a low base bid. In the targeting, when you specify the keyword you are working on, you need to have something low at 10 cents. Otherwise, with the multiplier, it will end up really crazy. And then the steering starts. The steering will be steering with the bid adjustment. For example, if you have a higher ACOS than that you want, and you want, for example, to decrease your bid or your CPC, instead of decreasing this 10 cents, you will just decrease this percentage of adjustment. And the same thing in the other way. If you still have room and you want to increase your bids, for example, you don't get enough traffic on this keyword, and you have a base bid of 10 cents and an adjustment of 100%, which means that the bids can go up to 20 cents. You want to allow it to go to 40 cents. It means that you need to go from 100% to 300%, so as to allow the bid to go from 10 cents to 40 cents. So it's another way of, instead of changing 10 cents to 40 cents, you will just change the adjustment from 100% to higher in order to get more traffic. So it's the other way. It's of doing steering based on adjustment and not based on bids. The same logic applies if you are doing product targeting. Basically, the main difference will be, instead of using top of search adjustment, you will be using product page adjustment, and you will be using a single product targeted ASIN campaign. So you will have a product targeting campaign, where you will put only one ASIN that you are promoting for you and only one targeted ASIN. It's the same logic. The second and last exotic strategy is going after the long tail. So by design, these keywords are low volume, low competition, so they will cost you less than the high competition and high volume keywords. One way of finding this keyword is using brand analytics, filtering, as I said, the first set of search term you get from some seed keywords. Then you will split in 3 the list that is sorted by search frequency rank, and you isolate the top 5%. These ones, you just remove them. Then you have from 5 to 20% quantile keywords. If we have an input list of keyword of 1,000, you will end up getting 150 keywords. And the real long tail, which is way cheaper than the rest, is this 800 keywords that you will take and put in an exact campaign. This time you don't put a single keyword campaign, otherwise it will be a complete nightmare. Like, just handling hundreds and hundreds of campaigns is just crazy. You just group all of them in one single campaign. But the main thing to keep in mind is, if you are doing it for multiple products that you are promoting, you need to have one product per ad group. You need to be isolating your own product that you are promoting, and this list of keywords should be per ad group. Now, I will be showing you how to use efficiently brand analytics to study competition and target them. So, as I said before, the goal for me in this short talk is to simply find your strongest competitor and how to translate that into Amazon advertising strategies. So first thing, with brand analytics, you just start with your most relevant keywords. If we use the same example as before, I choose wireless earbuds. I type it into brand analytics and I get a list of search terms. And for every search term, as you can see here in the screenshot, you have the top 3 selling items. So you get the 3 top selling item ASINs. So you take all this list of these ASINs. One thing that you need to be cautious of is the ASINs that have, like this one, the first one, the one ending with PFZZL. Some ASINs has 0 conversion, percentage of conversion, and have clicks. So usually these ASIN are running some weird ranking or volume campaigns where they are driving a lot of clicks and a lot of traffic without any conversion. These ones, I suggest not to extract them in case they are running some weird bot clicking campaigns. If you target them, you might end up displaying your product below them and the bot clicking on your ad and ends up making you pay for unrelevant clicks. So first step, from the seed keywords, you will find the strongest top ASINs per search term that is related to this seed keyword. So you get this list. Then with this list that you filter, from which you filter ASINs that have only clicks and no sales that might seem fraudulent, you will add them in a product targeting campaigns. In this case, you will be showing your product on this top selling product. Who say top selling product means a lot of traffic on them. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to get your product seen. Then from the same list, once you have created this product targeting campaign, you go back to brand analytics and you pick ASIN per ASIN and you put it back in brand analytics, and you will see all the search term for which this specific ASIN, like keep in mind that this is one of the competitors you are already targeting, you will be able to see all keywords, all search term that this competitor is getting sales from, where he's strong. So it's a second source of keywords. And basically it's just list of keywords where your main competitors are strong at. So you take the same list, you filter it, and you add it in exact manual targeting campaigns so as to be able to steal some sales from them. So thanks for your attention. And if you need to reach out, here are my information.
Thank you very much, Tariq, for this information, how to know more about competitors by using the tools and the opportunities we have inside Seller Central. Do you have any advice for people who are just in the phase of searching for their first product and perhaps don't have Seller Central access yet? What are the options to know and evaluate the competition in the ad space?
Yeah, it's a very good question. If you don't have access to Seller Central, or some that has access and don't have a brand registered, if they know a seller, I just recommend them to ask them to make an export, because you can export in once like 3 months of data in an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can play with it. It's pretty free. Or you can use some existing tools in the market like Datahawk or Helium 10, where they are providing a lot of similar metrics to estimate search volume, competition, etc., etc. So first option would be just asking someone who has access to make an export for you, or just reaching out to me, Tarek at M19. I can send you that. Or
that's good to know. That's good to know.
I hope that I won't have like hundreds of requests. Otherwise, I will get in trouble with Amazon.
Okay, so if you would have to give like general steps how to evaluate what the competitors are doing in the ad space, and also what is their spend, what they spend on the ads inside of Amazon, then what are the steps?
Yeah. First thing, knowing exactly how much, or a good estimate of how much they are spending, is very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, unless you know someone, an insider in Amazon. But you can get some insights on how hard they are doing on advertising by just looking in different moments during the day, like morning, afternoon, night, on high volume keywords that are having high SFR in brand analytics or with some known keywords. And you know if they are always top of search sponsoring or headline, like even at night, mid of the day on high volume keywords, you will know that they are massively investing, but you won't be able to know exactly or an approximate of how much they are spending.
Okay. And how sellers should know if competitors are targeting their products, and would you recommend to set in some kind of routine to check which kind of sellers are targeting their own products?
Yeah, yes, this is pretty important to know. Basically, again, the simplest way is just to go to your own product page, and you will see exactly which competitor are displayed on your own product page. It doesn't mean when you see them just below your product page, it doesn't mean that they are targeting you explicitly. It can be just they are targeting a keyword that your product is related to, or even through an automatic campaign, they might end up displaying on your own product page. So there are high chances that they are targeting you, but it's not sure 100%. And the second powerful way of doing it is to, again, use brand analytics, where for every one of your ASINs, you can know what are the substitutes that were bought from your product. So if someone was looking at your product and ends up buying something else, you can see that on the substitute tab in brand analytics. And these guys are, if they appear there, they are really targeting you and stealing sales from you. And you need to understand what's happening and why they are getting these sales from you.
Okay, that's definitely a very good tip for the sellers out there to double check that. So we're talking about competitors, but I also wanted to ask, like, do you recommend, or actually, what elements do you recommend to look for when sellers want to know the estimate budget for their PPC campaigns? Let's say they are searching for a new product, they are about to launch the product, and they want to know like what could be the budget during the launch time and also afterwards.
Yeah, this is a very hard and tricky question. Yeah, it's a very, very good one. First thing I will start with is looking at competition. What's the average CPC? Just by going to central in the keyword, it will give you a very good idea on how much the keyword itself is costing. For example, if you are doing wireless earbuds, you know that you will need to spend at least $1 a click. Plus, there are already some big guys there. First thing is look at the price of the click. Second thing is you go on Amazon, just check the main keywords and see what is the average number of stars the main competitors have. If there are at least 2 or 3 competitors with thousands of stars, it means that it will be very, very costly to go there, because the more stars you have means that you are well ranked organically, and means that your PPC will cost you less, which makes it even harder for newcomers because they are not well ranked. They don't have enough stars, and the PPC will cost them way more than someone which is already established. So first thing, look at the cost of the click. Second thing, look at how many big guys are there, the bigger they are, or the bigger the number is, the more the costly it will be for you to enter the market. And third thing, just forget about making profit in the beginning, where you will launching, you will be operating at break even. And even you need also to keep in mind there are more and more professional guys launching new products, and they are even investing and losing money in the beginning. I'm not saying this to discourage anyone to launch a new product, but I'm just saying that it's more and more costly. There are professional guys doing it with loss in the beginning. And it's almost impossible to give an absolute number because it really depends on the period we are doing the launch, the category, how competitive it is, and how sexy your product will be, how well it will be converted. All these things will decide what's the amount of money you will be spending there.
Thank you so much for these last actionable tips, and also for giving the context to better understand how the ads work and how they could work during the launch period and afterwards as well. So thank you very much for coming here today. So if everybody has any questions to you, what's the best way to reach out to you? And once more, how do you usually help Amazon sellers?
Yeah, thanks. So the best way to reach out to me is by email at Tariq, Tarik at m19.com. So we are helping sellers with our tool. So we are trying to empower customers, clients who are working with direct customers or agencies that are using our tool to put in place very advanced advertising strategies where there are a lot of optimization and automation that is done on their behalf. And they control all this complexity with a very simple dashboard where they describe what's their business strategies in a very simple and smaller time. And then the tool is working on their behalf every day. So this is how we're trying to help sellers by giving the power of machines to operate these tedious tasks and keep the interesting and intellectual task for humans to put the strategies in place.
Okay, thank you so much, and we wish good luck in your business.
Thanks.
I do hope this video was useful, and as I mentioned earlier, if you would be interested to check the M19 software to see if it works well with your advertising campaigns and makes you more profit, check the links below, also the video to the demo. And now I invite you to watch another video which is quite popular on our channel about PPC, Amazon advertising, and we hope that you will find or learn more tips. Yeah, it's here. Just click and watch. Bye bye.